Alright, I should have looked at Sweet last night, but I was tired and headed to bed. I always forget how limited this title is. So here I've made a few changes, and I'll see if I can explain what I did. Go back over here to plan. The first thing to fix this roof overhang, all I did was I took your railing wall and I just moved it back. I'll move it forward. You can see how this roof plane is extending out. You can't select them, but you can see how this roof plane here is coming out. I'm going to get rid of all your dimensions just to clean up the drawing. And I've also turned off the grid. Again, it's not useful to me, and it just clutters up the drawing. So you can go over here to plan and show reference grid, uncheck that, and that'll turn off that grid. Anyway, this is just a invisible wall for right now, but I took this is your railing wall, and I took it and I'm just hitting the up arrow key, and I just moved it back where I wanted it, and then I drew in an invisible wall right here, and then I set this room that's defined between the two as a deck. So you can see what that does. So what you need to do is just switch those two walls instead of pushing your wall back. You would draw a new wall in there and move it back. Just make it a room divider, an invisible wall, but make it have the settings that you have on this wall. So, I'm probably not making sense, but the trick is that you want to make this room out here, you want to uncheck flat ceiling and roof over this room. When you make it a deck, that's the default, but you want to make sure that flat ceiling over this room is not checked. And that'll fool Chief, or the software, into fixing these roof planes. I noticed it looks like you've got, which is correct, I think, for the model, you've got an upper pitch set on this roof. Yeah. So you'll have to modify that, the in from baseline setting. Anyway, that should get you going on that. Over here, it looks like that this wall right here needs to move back. It needs to move back where this break is even with the break that you don't see over here. So, and then you'll see that clears that up. The other thing I did was I went into your roof defaults, and I set the pitch to 12 because it looks like you've set the defaults correctly. Like this wall here, you've got it set at 6. So you've already set those. Except for like this wall right here needs to be the default, which is 12. Maybe you don't want 12. Maybe you want something else. But it looks like from your looks like from the drawing it's 12. To get this I drew in some walls here, but I don't think you need them for this. Well, yes, you do. Drawing some walls here. and then open up this room, and if you make it the default ceiling height, the room doesn't respect the pitch. So I'm going to add just a 1/4 of an inch and see if that, yeah, add a 1/4 of an inch, and that changes the pitch. So you get the higher pitch on here. I did set this wall and this wall to 12. You probably don't need to do that. They can probably just be the default. No, that is the default. Anyway, doing those walls lets you create a room here so you can raise the ceiling just a little bit, and that'll change the roof. I think you were asking about the front wall. I'm not certain, but I think you're asking about this wall across here. You were saying it needs to move forward. Let's go back over here. Let's see. The upper ridge line needs to move towards the front of the house. Well, there's two ways to doing that. You can change the pitch of the roof, or you can move this wall forward. Moving the wall forward is just moving the wall forward. You just select these things and move the wall forward, and that will raise the ridge, move the ridge towards the front of the house. It won't move it very much. It'll take a good bit of work to do that, but anyway, see if those tips help.